Hi guys, in this video today we're going to talk about the 3 most common errors when it comes to the volley. Now the volley is a relatively basic technique, but there's so much variety in the volley that often you see players learning the game making a lot of mistakes. So in this video we're going to cover the top 3. The first error is to do with turning the shoulders. When you are taught the volleys, you start from the ready position, you turn the shoulders, you step with the opposite leg and then come through to block that ball. Now what happens when you play to a higher level is the balls come faster and it's more of a reaction. You often end up stepping with the open side and blocking that ball like that. But what you'll see is most of the professionals, if they can, they will still turn their shoulders even if they're stepping with the open leg. So they'll open like this, turn the shoulders and still block that ball. And sometimes they don't even do that if they don't have time. But what happens is that the players are watching those players do that and they think as a beginner or as a newer player that they don't need to, and therefore they step open like this. And what happens is if the ball comes to you and you don't turn your shoulders, you can see that that wrist gets in a really awkward position to volley the ball anything that is towards your body. So it's really important that if you can, you keep turning your shoulders to volley that ball. Whether you step or whether you step on the open leg, you want to keep turning those shoulders for the contact if you can. The second error is players swinging at the volley when they shouldn't. Now in tennis a common error is also to swing at those volleys, but in paddle you have more variety of the types of volley. For example, when the ball comes slower, then it is okay to swing on that ball if you're going to keep nice and compact. If it's faster, you end up blocking. I've done a previous video on the different types of volley, which I'll link to down below, but one thing to remember is that you really only swing on that ball if it's a softer one and it's above net height, so you can be aggressive. Often we see players from further back in the court on more difficult balls trying to swing and be aggressive when it's not the right ball to do that. So you only swing when it's an easy ball and you can step through and be aggressive and it's above net height, giving you less risk on that shot. The third most common error is to do with court position and moving for the ball. So at a lower level, what you often see is players get way too close, so they come up like this and they're looking to pat the ball down, but they leave a huge gap behind them, and you also see them get stuck in no man's land where they're trying to pick the volley up off their feet. Really, if you're in a normal game situation, you want to be about halfway between the first and second post, back to the second post, somewhere in that region depending upon what is happening in the court. If it's attacking and you're getting in a good position and the shot before is in the corner and they have to pick it up, then yes, you can take a step forward and be ready for that next ball. If you can see that they're attacking or they're about to hit a lob, then you can take a step slightly further back because you're preparing for that ball to go a little bit deeper. Another thing to think of in this position is that this is your start position. So if the ball is soft and it's being looped up a little bit, but it's going to drop down towards your feet, then yes, you do need to step forward, take that ball and see if you can take it above the height of the net. That way you can be a little bit more aggressive. When you contact below the net, obviously you need to hit up so you can be less aggressive on that ball. So if you are in this position, it's important that you're constantly on your toes, looking where to move depending upon the type of shot that they're going to hit. And as soon as they hit it, that's when you need to split step and get into that position as fast as possible. Whether it's attacking a shorter one or you're moving back to hit a bandeja off one of their lobs. One of the most exciting things about attacking in paddle is the variety of volleys that you can hit. So I really recommend you watch the different type of volleys video, say that 5 times fast, and also it's worth looking at the playlist of common errors, because if you can eradicate all of those common errors, then you're going to be more consistent and you're more likely to be winning those points.